So just when you thought you saw everything from San Diego Comic-Con, and it seems like stuff is still slowly trickling out, yet another thing that we talked about in the rumor leak 2 weeks ago on the podcast is starting to surface. We talked about what could possibly be a deluxe Nightbird. And well, lo and behold, it looks like this deluxe Nightbird has leaked out on the internet. On the Twitter account of Mr. Lumptastic, it looks like we have a first decent look at what is the robot mode of this Nightbird. Now, it looks like it's going to be using the Chromia mold from Siege, which makes it now the, So we got Chromia, Moonracer, Nova Star, Greenlight. Recently, we discovered Lancer. So this is going to be the 6th time that this mold is being used for a character. This mold is really getting its mileage. I guess every time we're going to have now a female character mold, it seems like it's going to go through the gamut when it's going to come to other characters, I guess. I don't know. This is crazy. So let's just like dive into this a little bit and deconstruct this. So when we look at Nightbird's history of toys, I mean, it even goes back to like the third-party stuff. Back in 2009, a small company during the early days of third-party, Impossible Toys, did a more show-accurate, non-transformable figure of Nightbird, which came with like a lightsaber sword and nunchucks. And it did its job. It looked pretty good. Needed a little paint here and there, but otherwise was a pretty good representation for the longest time of that character in your display. In 2010 at TFCon, I was very integral on this. We worked on the Nightbird exclusive, and we worked hard with that one, and it was a transformable figure. We, using that RC mold from Impossible Toys, and it was what it was. We tried our best to kind of write a character with it. Me, Alex Mill, and Joshua Perez, we worked on a comic, fleshed out the story of how Nightbird got this alt mode and how she could transform now by using, the reformatting power of the Master Sword from Fortress Maximus, along with, Autobot records of RC and her transformation. Little cute little story that we put together there. The toy came with 2 sais and a sword. And those 2 sais would be integral later on with future creations of that character. At BotCon 2015, they did a Creo army builder set called the Earth's Most Wanted, and it had a whole bunch of obscure little designs. It had Sentinel Prime with the Headmaster from Animated. It had Autobot Spike. It had Dr. Arkeville, the Robot Master, but it also had a Creo Nightbird. And this Creo Nightbird came with 2 little ninja stars, a sword, and a sai. And then when Sakamoto-san later that year was working on repaints within the Transformer Legends line, it hailed back to what was done with Alex Milne, me, and Josh Perez in 2010, and we had Nightbird Shadow, which was a repaint of RC, and also came with sais as a unique weapon to come with it. And that was that, and that was kind of it for Nightbird toys for the longest time. And again, grounded in all kinds of its obscure history from third-party influencing official product due to official product and third-party all being friends together, or on the creative side of things. And now we have essentially that, which is this Nightbird. And so this is a Transformers Siege Nightbird. Judging by the shot here, it looks like it's probably going to be a Hasbro Select item because it's on a Hasbro Select box. Although I could be wrong, but that's the way it's being depicted here, essentially. Now, this use of using the Chromia mold makes me wonder, is there going to be a new weapon? Because the Chromia mold, the Moonracer, they both came with like these big kind of guns. The Nova Star and the Lancer came with these like smaller guns, and of course the combiner pieces. And Greenlight came with a Battle Master, which made the sword Dazzle Strike. So I mean, unless they want to go about it where, okay, it's a Hasbro Select item. It only really has, from what I could tell here, only the head is the new thing about it, of the resculpt. Maybe they'll include some kind of unique sword, or alternatively, they'll include a Battle Master like Dazzle Strike that turns into a sword/weapon Battle Master. partner. That'll be a little extra, accessory to the value here. Maybe they'll include some new sculpted weapons, some nunchucks or some ninja stars or some sais. Who knows? But I mean, I think this would be a good way to kind of have a good set of weapons that'll be universal among all the other characters from the 3mm peg, and it'd be a good excuse to use it to be included with this character, because this character, I mean, through its figural history, has had all kinds of different weapons and stuff. So it'd be really cool to have. Now, the last thing I want to touch on is fiction. Now, the Siege line fictionally has been tied to all this pre-Cybertronian stuff and pre-Cybertron history, pre-Earth. So it makes me wonder, is this going to be tied into that Transformers Siege timeline? And if so, what's the story with Nightbird being a Cybertronian character in a pre-Earth storyline when she was originally, in all of her fictional creations up to that point, a human creation back on Earth in 1985. So, very interesting on how they're going to go about that and explain that. But that's for a whole other story, and hopefully we'll get some more pictures and a better idea of what she comes with as time progresses. And I kind of use this video as a little bit of an excuse to talk about the history of this character, all the different toys that she's had officially and unofficially throughout the years, as well as what it could potentially have now in the Siege line. So let me know what you think about this. She looks really good, but I'm really curious about what's going on here and how much more stuff will be included in the future.